Hello, everyone. My name is David, and I'll be leading our workshop today. So I am from Cal here at UDC. Feel free if you want, you can also turn on your video cameras. It's always good to see who's joining. But a little bit about myself. I am from San Diego, California. I currently live in the DC area. I have a background in English and a master's for TESOL and linguistics. I've also been a teacher since 2010 and a trainer since that time as well. So I've trained mainly professionals online, teachers teaching online. I did live in Beijing as well as South Korea. So you can see I did some government work with some training, as well as there's my team. I've been skydiving as well as having a cat. So I have a little cat as well. So I do specialize really in online teaching and learning, especially with student engagement, gamification, and using ed tech tools. So I'm really excited to be hosting this workshop today and tell you some tips. So this is all about adding LinkedIn learning videos to your Blackboard course, as well as some best practices that we can be aware of as we use LinkedIn learning in our course. So first, I just want to go over the Zoom controls very briefly on your screen. You'll see that toolbar in the center. If you click on that unmute icon, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. If you'd like to unmute and say a quick hello, feel free.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining today. Right. And I see Brandon and Dr. Moore. Thank you as well for joining. Number two is the chat box. You can use that throughout. I know we have a very small group today, but you can also use this just to let me know how things are going or any questions that you may have. Before you exit, there are three dots in the lower right corner of your chat box that will say save chat to my computer. Last one, there should be that raise hand icon. Do you see that? You can go ahead and click on that if you'd like to raise your hand. That just lets me know that you have a question or a comment, right? But I'll make this very personal since we have a very small group today. So let's get started. So I want to show you about LinkedIn Learning. And let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so let's go over how familiar you are with LinkedIn Learning. So you can go ahead and tell me in the chat box, how familiar are you with LinkedIn Learning? I'll go ahead and wait for some answers to pop up. And we can also talk about how we can use LinkedIn Learning in our actual course. Right? So I see EBC, LBS. Have you used LinkedIn Learning before? So Professor Hinnant, no, familiar, looking forward to learn.
No, I haven't used it.
Okay, have you linked your UDC account to LinkedIn Learning?
Yes, I did that
Okay.
last week at one of the professional development meetings.
Excellent. Yeah, so we'll talk about leveraging. I appreciate that, Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
I apologize for not changing the name.
It is all good, right? We're starting our semester, right? So that is completely fine. And Dr. Schweitzer, how familiar are you with LinkedIn Learning?
I'm actually very familiar. I've had the opportunity to earn a couple of certificates through LinkedIn Learning, and used it personally, of course. And I'd like to find ways to help my students to also earn certificates through LinkedIn Learning.
Yes, and I think that's a big one, right? So we all know LinkedIn Learning is great professionally, and for most of our students, how can they use LinkedIn Learning to really leverage their experience and get those certifications? So first, I'm going to share my screen, and I'll put this link in the chat box. So I'll just walk you through this, and it's a good link to just share and reference or download as a PDF. But for any student that's on campus, they already have access to LinkedIn Learning. They don't have to pay extra for this. So as we see here, please follow the instructions below if you have a LinkedIn account. Setting up that LinkedIn account first is key. If they don't have an account, they can create an account using their personal email. Now, here's a quick note. When you are sharing this with students, tell them to use their personal email, let's say a Gmail account, instead of their UDC email. So with that Gmail account, when they go ahead and link the two together, they'll still have access to that even after they graduate. So as you look right here, LinkedIn Learning and linkedin.com, once you create an account, you will use the instructions below to add LinkedIn Learning. So just a quick run through to activate it, they can click here. It's a live link. Once they click on that, they can sign in using their personal account. So I already have a LinkedIn account with my personal email. As we scroll down, once you have signed in, it will display your profile and ask you to accept and continue. Then you will be redirected to your LinkedIn Learning homepage. Do I have any questions so far about this process or how we can share it with our students? You can raise that hand for me or just unmute. We have a good little group today. Okay. But if not, that's the first step. So once you share this document with your students, they are able to log in on LinkedIn Learning and really connect and activate their account here. So when we looked at LinkedIn Learning, here's my homepage. Now, based on my interest and my expertise, it will recommend some picks for me. So for example, the surprising upside of procrastination. If I click on this,
This is an audio course. No need to watch.
I can go ahead and play this course and get that certification that I can add to my LinkedIn profile. When I scroll down, one of the cool things about here is if you look at the transcript, and let's say I want to find a specific sentence or text that's related to something that I want to learn. So if I look here at transcript, and let's say I want to search for study or read, let's say area. Okay, so each episode is split into sections. As you can see here,
Use the links in the contents area.
when I search in the transcript, it'll tell me to that specific part in the video. So this can really help you when you're looking for specific information for your students. Let's go back to something that would be more pertinent for them. So if I scroll down, let's do something about PowerPoint. So I'll go ahead and search for that. And it can sort by best match in the upper right corner. You can also search by view count and newest. Let me go to newest right here. And let's say that my students are not familiar with PowerPoint. I can add this to my Blackboard course. So if I click on PowerPoint Quick Tips, I can scroll down. I can see an overview of what this will cover, a Q&A section where they can leave their own comments for the professor or the instructor to answer, as well as the transcript. So based on what video I choose, I can search in the transcript and I can find a specific information or a specific sentence that I'm looking for right here. So that's a really good tool with LinkedIn Learning, is using that transcript feature right here. Now, another thing that I want you to be aware of is this content map. So I will put this in the chat box for everyone to see. And if you click on this link, just like I'm sharing right now, this is really great for using in our context here at UDC. So you can search by different categories at the bottom. We have student success, professional development, HR, IT and tech, teaching success, leadership, etc. So if I want to go to professional development, let's say that we want them to get your body language to match your words. I can click here. And that doesn't work. Let me click on something else. 6 tips to better your body language. Okay. So right here, based on this content map from LinkedIn Learning, I'm able to find something that would be really work well for my specific context. And right here, I can see it says public relations foundations, media training. I can search for the transcript. I can also look at the videos right here. So there are 2 ways that we can add this to our Blackboard course. Now, since we have a little bit a little bit more so we have more people here. Let's do some interactivity. So I'm going to present my screen. And I want to introduce Mentimeter for everyone here. If you have your smartphone next to you as you're watching this, this is a great way that you can participate. So I'll go ahead and put the instructions on the screen. And I know we have some C.A.L team members here as well. Thank you for joining. You can also participate in this exercise. So what you can do is you can go ahead and point your camera at the QR code on the screen using your smartphone, and that will automatically take you to this Mentimeter activity.
You can hear him?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Dr. Moore. And if you've connected, you can let me know in the chat box or give me a thumbs up with that reaction. Thank you, Dr. Moore. Thank you, Fatma.
You said hold the camera up to the box, right?
Exactly. So pretend like you're going to take a picture with your camera, but don't click on taking a picture. And then give it a few seconds. You'll see at the very top, it says open in Chrome or Safari. Click on that, it'll take you straight there. Or if you have your phone open, you can go to your browser. Do you see on the left side? You can enter menti.com, and our code for today is 5890-0104. Let me know if that works for you, Professor Hinnant. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So let me go ahead and start our presentation. You can also give me some love. If you look on your phone, you can click on that little heart. That will give me some love. Makes me feel great. Thank you so much. I see 5 of you. Perfect. So first, I wanted to just get a feel for the group today. I know we have a smaller group, but tell me, what is your job title? I'll also put that as well. You'll see that right on your screen. If it doesn't fit, you can go ahead and shorten it, right? And let's see. Thank you, everyone. I can see 2 of you, or 2 of us have participated so far. Excellent. Director of Learning Technology, hello there. Assistant Chief Academic Officer, Instructional Consultant, Hero to Humankind. I love that. Director of Learning Technology, Hero to Humankind, Instructional Consultant, and Assistant Chief Academic Officer. Thank you so much, everyone. So that gives me a good feel for how we can use LinkedIn Learning in our own different contexts. Right?
Did you see mine?
Yes, which one were you?
I'm the Professor RN to BSN program.
Let's see if you put that somewhere else. Yes, I see this here on under the Q&A. You can also put it, you see where it says, what is your job title? Right there. But excellent, Professor RN to the BSN program. Thank you so much for joining us. So one of the questions I wanted to ask here, and you'll see this on your phone now, if you go to the next slide, is what is the purpose of LinkedIn Learning in your own words? Why is it used, or why is it used today, right? What is the purpose? I'll also answer this as well. Give us about a minute for this. Thank you so much for participating, everyone. So if you'd like to talk about your answer, you can go ahead and raise that virtual hand on your toolbar. I'll get started. I put to build up both soft and hard skills. So these can be soft skills in the office or professionally, but as well as hard skills. Let's say that I want to learn how to master Excel spreadsheets. So LinkedIn Learning is a really accessible way that we can do that, both with soft and hard skills. If you'd like to speak, you can go ahead and raise that virtual hand. But some of the other answers I see are learning on demand. Definitely, it really is accessible on both your phone as well as computer or tablet. Enhance your knowledge, right? So even for me, I can think about how can I get better at not procrastinating, right? To provide snips of knowledge in areas of interest through short videos, as well as texts and different worksheets. You can also use the notebook function in LinkedIn Learning, and really provide a variety of learning opportunities for both faculty and students. Excellent. And to connect faculty and students with various information. Thank you so much, everyone. That was great. So another question I have is, do you use LinkedIn Learning in your courses? So if you are teaching, or if you're using it in any kind of course or training, let me know. I'll also answer this as well. See, 3 of us have answered so far. So 4 of us have said no, so you are in the correct place, right? I'll talk about how you can put this in Blackboard. And 1 of you said yes. So I believe the yes. Is that you, Dr. Schweitzer? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Actually, I was one of the ones that said no, but I want to.
There you go, right? You're in the perfect place. Thank you, Dr. Schweitzer. Who said yes? Maybe they left, right? But we can talk about how we can use this in our own courses. I appreciate that. Right? So what we'll do next is I want to talk about how we can use this in Blackboard itself. So some of the resources I've already provided in the chat box. The first one is great for your students or for other faculty, is that quick start guide on how to link your regular personal LinkedIn account to LinkedIn Learning through UDC. Remember, you can use your personal email, your personal account for this. You don't have to create something separate for UDC. Here is the homepage for LinkedIn Learning. Based on your interest and experience, it will populate what would be best for you, as you can see here. I've also put in the chat box this updated master campus content mapping sheet. You can see at the bottom, there are different tabs that go over different areas, both soft and hard skills for both you and your students. So for example, if I want to go over diversity, ethics, and law, let's go to business ethics. I can click on this, and that will take me, well, this one doesn't work. Let's go to project management foundations. And that will take me to this page right here that I can use and show for my students. Let's go to protecting your intellectual property. Okay, so there you go. So this is a great content mapping sheet that we can use to find things very quickly, because I know there are so many resources that you can find on LinkedIn. Now, one of the things that I want to show you is how to use this in Blackboard. So if I go to my Blackboard content page, let's go over 2 ways you can connect LinkedIn Learning on Blackboard. So if I go to View Course and Institution Tools, I can click on that, and I can see on the right, LinkedIn Learning is right here. If you don't find this, scroll down and go to Browse All Course Tools. If I click on here, That will take me to this content market page where I can find that LinkedIn Learning link. Let's scroll down. So you will see LinkedIn Learning here. Since I've already added it, I can go ahead and click on this right here. So once I open this, I'm able to search directly here. Now, one of the things is it can be a little bit difficult to find what you are looking for. So it's a little bit easier if you find something from here or from the campus content map. But let's look right here, the 6 morning habits of high performers.
No need to watch, just listen.
Now I can copy the link right here at the top, and I can put that right there. And right there, if I copy and paste, I can find the 6 morning habits of high performers. Or you can go ahead and just copy the name of this. And I can search for it here. So those are 2 ways you can find it. You can just copy and paste the link or search for it with that title. Now, once I click on this and I just check it, I can click on submit. And this will show up right here where I can click on submit. And this will show up on my course. So let me go ahead and do that one more time. Six morning habits of high performers. Check that. I'll also check this right here. So that'll show up and submit. There's no category for that. And now you can see that it's directly linked right here for my students to see. So remember, you can go ahead and find something with that LinkedIn Learning link under course and institution tools. I can go ahead and unhide that so it's visible to students. And what happens is when they click on this, that will take them directly to this
Just
page,
listen.
the 6 morning habits of high performers. Now, let's go over if you want to just add a specific video from a course rather than the whole course in general. So there are some ways that we can do that. So let me go ahead and make a new document. So right here, I can create that new document when I click on the plus sign. And right here, I want to put, let's say, LinkedIn Learning. The 6 morning habits of high performers. Now, one of the great things about LinkedIn Learning is you can also embed this in your course. So how you can do this? So I want to go ahead and share this specific video. I can click right here where it says share in the upper right corner and embed. So right there, when I click on embed and copy, this will copy the HTML or the embedded file that I can put in a specific place on Blackboard. So let me go ahead and copy that. Now, as you can see, I can add content. So this video will show you how to perform your best in the morning. And I can go ahead and save that. Now, when I click on the plus sign here, I want to go to add HTML. And I will just paste that link, save it. And now what my students will see is the video right here. It won't directly link outside externally to the LinkedIn Learning website. So I find this is a best practice for me where I can put different videos on here. Let me show you that one more time. So let's go back and I'm going to search for study habits. So let's say I'm teaching a class for first year freshmen, learning study skills. I'll go ahead and put that right here.
Welcome to Study Skills Fundamentals. I'm Paul.
I can scroll down and I can see the overview for this. And let's see this video right here.
Here's what you should know.
So if I click on contents, let's look for a video right here. Avoid excessive highlighting and note taking. If I click on this and say that I want to share this specific video, the best way to do that is go to share in the upper right corner. See right there. And then embed. I'll copy this. And I can go ahead and do the same thing. So this one's the first one, 6 practices to get back on track. I want to add another video. I'll go to add HTML. And there is my second one, avoiding excessive highlighting and note taking. So once I save this and I go back, I can go ahead and see both of these videos as a student. So if I click on play right here,
This is an audio course. No need to watch, just
the video and the audio will play automatically when I click on this play button.
In this video, we're going to discuss the dangers of excessive highlighting or note-taking.
So I don't have to link directly to that full course. So remember those 2 ways that I just showed you right now. The first way is if I click right here, the 6 morning habits of high performers. How I did that is I went to view course and institution tools, LinkedIn Learning. Let me see this one, After Effects 2020 new features. I'll click on submit. I'll go ahead and check this, the title. I'll put the category as no category for this one and submit. And there you go. So you can see After Effects 2020 new features. I'll go ahead and make this visible to my students. Now, if I do this though, if I click here as a student, that will take me externally to the LinkedIn Learning website. So if you want that to happen, that's great. If you want a different option, you can also embed individual videos from the course or specific parts that you want to just show from a course. So as you can see for this one, it has 3 videos, removing, creating, and removing a logo. Let's say I just want to show this one.
One special case that
What I can do in this case then is go to the upper right corner where it says share. I can go to embed. I can unlock that video. I have 20. I can go ahead and copy that. And let's make a new content page. Document. And I'll name this as After Effects Tips. And I'll go to add HTML. Once I click on that, I can go ahead and copy and paste that HTML code from LinkedIn Learning and click on save. And there you go. So this specific video from the course is seen here rather than the whole course in general. When I click on play,
one special case that can
there you go. So the students will be able to see that. Now, I just want to check in with everyone here. Are there any questions I can answer so far? Please raise that virtual hand or tell me in the chat box. Or give me a thumbs up if you're able to follow along. Thank you so much, Fatma, Professor Hinet. Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Asungwed and Dr. Schweitzer. Perfect. So some other tips I can give when you're using LinkedIn Learning is remember that you want to really emphasize that the certifications that the students will get if they do the entire course can really help them professionally or academically. There are so many great different tools that they can use, especially by looking at this content course map that I put in the chat box right there.
Hey, David.
Now, yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So, quick question for you that comes to mind. Any best practices or thoughts around awarding like extra credit or some type of points in the classroom when a student does obtain the certificate? Should the ability to upload it, things like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So some best practices you can do. Let's say that one of the videos I'm showing are removing a logo on a smooth surface with content aware fill, right? So it's something that I'm not really aware of. But what I can do to check for comprehension first is you can make a quiz in Blackboard that's about this specific video. So when I click here, maybe I can put some instructions that there will be a quiz after this about the video. So that's a way that as a professor or an instructor, I can check for comprehension. Another thing you can do is if you link to the entire course. So let's say right here, I'm linked to the 6 morning habits of high performers. Once they click here, and you can see there's a series of videos for this one. Once they finish that and they get the certification, you can also tell them to upload that certification, maybe as an assignment or for extra credit in Blackboard itself. Did that answer your question, Dr. Schweitzer?
I have a follow-up question
Yes.
that I'm actually wondering.
Yeah.
So for the, is there any, we could do also anything to do with the Q&A? So the Q&A that I see it on the screen, does
Yes.
that relate it to the content or no?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Thank you, Fatma. So right here, the Q&A, this is really for other people, even outside of UDC, that are taking this exact course. So these are directed to the instructor or the author of the specific course. So for example, let's see, I love the scribing habit. I never knew the 5-minute journal was something available. Then I can go ahead and add mine. I agree with you. That is such a good tip for the morning. So as you can see right here, it'll just post with anyone else that's taking this course outside of UDC. So if I want to just limit it to UDC and my specific students, I can go ahead and make a discussion post about this video or about this content in Blackboard for my students to communicate with each other here at UDC. Did that answer your question, Fatma?
Yeah,
Thank
thank
so
you.
much.
I didn't know what is the QA. So I was like wondering if we're, but this is really a great source. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a great question. You know, for me, this is something that I could also look at. I'm a pretty much of a night owl. So if I wanted to be a better high performer in the morning, I can go ahead and finish this course.
And I have another question,
Yes.
David. I know that you digged into LinkedIn, so I'm sorry for bombarding you with a
Oh.
lot of questions. So in the end, so when you take a whole track, does LinkedIn have any kind of questions or anything to verify whether you went through the content or not?
No. So in my experiences with LinkedIn Learning, it's very passive. So as you can see for this one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 videos. So once I view these videos, I'm done. I have that certification that I participated or that I viewed these videos.
Yeah, so that means that faculty or whenever, if we want to embed it, we have to follow up with kind of any kind of activity, so to make sure that got observed or achieve the goal itself.
Yes, definitely. So if I were to ask my students, let's say, give me your top 3 tips from this course, I can use that as a discussion post on Blackboard, and I can give them credit once they participate there. Okay. Dr. Schweitzer?
Yeah, I would also add there are a couple of videos. I'm sorry, a couple of LinkedIn Learning courses that also have quizzes associated with them in those respective courses. So my overall thought is, if the faculty didn't want to have some type of assessment inside of Blackboard, they could also focus on those courses that do have the associated quizzes or exams that are embedded in the LinkedIn Learning course themselves. So that's just another thought on that topic.
Yeah, Dr. Schweitzer, to follow up with you, if they do have quizzes in the LinkedIn course, how do you give credit to your students?
Yeah, excellent question. So my thought would be, once the student goes through and completes the videos and the quizzes within the Blackboard, within the LinkedIn Learning course, at the end there's obviously the certificate. So my thought would be to create a Dropbox type of situation on Blackboard where the student submits the certificate, and then the faculty would give credit for that. But my hesitation will I would say probably to limit it to like an extra credit opportunity, at least until. But there are ways to integrate it, of course, into the course content.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because, yeah, just to clarify, I've been looking at a lot of soft skill type of videos, but you are definitely correct, right? Even here, they have those chapter quizzes. So with this quiz, once I complete this course and I do a couple quizzes here, it looks like they have a quiz after each section, then they get that certificate. And as the instructor, I can assume that my students have looked at the videos, passed the quizzes, and received that certificate, right? Dr. Asangwet?
Yeah, even the LinkedIn Learning segments that have quizzes, you have an option of doing the quizzes or not, but once you get to the end, you'll still be able to get that certificate. So it does not really measure knowledge base.
Mhm.
That's all I had to say.
I'm so glad you brought that up because LinkedIn Learning can be passive. So we can create those active opportunities in our courses, right? So in Blackboard, it can be an extra credit opportunity. Maybe they can discuss best practices or things that they learned from the course within Blackboard itself. So as an instructor, we have that ability to really check for comprehension from our students for these videos. So really think of LinkedIn Learning as a tool that can just supplement your course. So for example, if you want to go over any soft or hard skills in different areas, you can easily add those videos or the course link in your Blackboard course so students can go ahead and view that. And for LinkedIn Learning, if they are able to see these different courses linked in your Blackboard course, then LinkedIn Learning will also recommend things that are similar for them. So that can be a great way that they can also develop professionally on their own end and use LinkedIn Learning to their advantage, right? So Dr. Schweitzer, Dr. Asangwat, I really appreciate your input. Any other questions or comments I can answer so far? So let's see,
I just want to add
Yes.
something. I missed the good part. So I just want, if anybody aware, there is a transcript for the video in the LinkedIn Learning for all videos. So this is the beauty. It's on the right. Yeah. So this is the beauty of LinkedIn Learning, that it has everything here, and some of them also have practice, right, David?
Mhm.
So if there's something technical, PowerPoint or Word or Adobe, they gave the students practice material.
Yes, right. So a lot of these courses do have different kind of worksheets or guidelines that they can use on their own. Dr. Schweitzer, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add to what Fatma just said is I recently, actually just like 2 days ago, I went through a Power BI certificate on LinkedIn Learning, and exactly right. They had exercise files that you download, upload into Power BI, and walk through the example files along with the instructor on the video. And that was like really cool because it provided the opportunity to get the hands-on learning experience. And so, maybe we could think of ways to integrate something like that into our courses as like a final submission for students for graded activities or something along those lines. But I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that as well. LinkedIn Learning is an incredible resource because LinkedIn is so important professionally. And as we develop our students, right, we want them to be successful later in life, even after our classes are over. So, when I was searching for a job before this, LinkedIn Learning was definitely something that I used almost every day. So this is something that can really help them professionally with both hard skills and soft skills, right? So I think with that, if there are no other questions, I want to go back to my Mentimeter. So if you look on your screen, let me go ahead and share this. You'll see on your phone, you can either leave a comment or ask a question. So first, if you want to leave a comment, think about what are your next steps? How will you use LinkedIn Learning in your own class? Or if you have a question, you can also post that there. So you'll see on your screen, just open Q&A. And once you do that, you're able to go ahead and type something that I can see and also keep as reference. So I'll go ahead and put a question or comment.
I lost my screen, so I have to start it again. So sorry.
No problem. Thank you, Fatma.
Menti
.com.
Yeah, I can also show you, Fatma, the QR code.
Yeah, you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the great questions. I love that.
Oh, it
Did you
didn't.
see that?
Well, thank you for. I didn't. It's Q&A, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
see.
open the Q&A.
Okay, and then
You can ask me a question or think about your next steps, how you will use LinkedIn Learning for your own context, whether it be teaching or personally. For example, as I was leading this workshop today, I know we have a small group, but I was really thinking about when I do work with students, I really want to showcase some soft skills that they can use to improve their study habits or the way they take notes in class, because there is so much available with LinkedIn for that, right? Thank you for the likes as well. Let's see if there's another one. Thanks for a great presentation. You are welcome. I will be embedding video into my classroom today. Yes. So just remember, I find that it's much easier to embed the HTML code like I showed you before, so that the students will only see a specific video. So for example, you can see in this whole course, or the course that I was looking at, there are more than 30 videos for this course. If I link to this whole course in Blackboard, it may be a little bit overwhelming. So I can go ahead and pinpoint a specific video, and then I can showcase that in my classroom just by embedding the HTML file. Is there a faculty certification for LinkedIn Learning? Professor Hinnett. So after this workshop is over, if you did register with us, you should receive a feedback email. There is a certificate you can go ahead and fill out, and then you can put LinkedIn Learning for that, right? For your records. Great question. I'll use it with my kids and I will add it to my training. Thank you so much. Could you provide a quick resource for locating health information? Let's see. So I'm going to share my screen. And let's go to the content map. So I did put this in the chat box. And you can also click on that link and save it. But if I go to my content map, and everyone should be able to see, let's see if there's anything with health. Right here. So health and wellness is a category at the bottom of this. You might have to scroll a little bit, but you can see there is actually a lot of health resources on LinkedIn Learning. So for example, managing stress at work, let's put that. So that one doesn't work. That has been retired. Let's look at managing stress. Okay. So you can see on that content map, that spreadsheet, if you save this, and you should have access to this right now, you're able to see there is a whole health and wellness tab. If I click on that, I can find something that is related to maybe something I want to go over with my students, or professionally with myself. I can go ahead and find something.
So let me ask you.
And remember, you can link to this entire course, or you can find a video, managing your time at work. And I can go ahead and just share this specific link. Right? There's a newer version of this course. Okay, let's see. This looks like a good one.
Let's be.
So managing your time, in the upper right corner, if I click on share, I can embed it. And then that's the code I can use. So let me go ahead and do that right now. I'll unlock it, copy it. I'll go ahead and put it on this page. Let me rename it. Health tips, managing time. And I can go ahead and get rid of this one. Add HTML, that's an option right here. Paste it. And there you go. So I'm able to just add this specific video about managing your time for stress. This is what students will see on Blackboard. And if I want to create a quiz or discussion posts based on this, I can go ahead and do that to check for comprehension. Right? Excellent. Let me go ahead and go back to Mentimeter. Great training, David. You are a pro. I appreciate that. Thank you. Are there any case study selections? So that is a great question. I'm so glad you brought that up. So in these workshops that we will be offering regularly, if you are using LinkedIn Learning in your course, let's say Dr. Schweitzer, Dr. Asengwed, I would love to hear from you and connect with you. I'm going to leave my email in the chat box as well. But please send me an email and I can follow up with you of how you're using LinkedIn Learning in your own course. And we would love to bring you in as a speaker or panelist to talk about how you've used this to spread to other faculty. That could be a really great way that they can see how you're using it and then adapt it for their own context as well. Yes. Yes, I can send the spreadsheet as well. Dr. Asongwad, can you go ahead and send me an email? And I can go ahead and send that spreadsheet. If you did register beforehand, I will also send an email after this workshop is over with these different resources. Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and save the chat. Are there any final questions I can answer before we say goodbye?
No, I want to just say thank you so much, David. That's really informative, and I learned a lot from this webinar.
Thank you so much, Fatma. I'm so glad you came as well. You had great questions as always. Any other final comments or questions I can answer?
Yeah,
Dr. Schweitzer?
I echo Fatma. This has been a great session. And this is something, it's something new. You know, I had no idea that we could do something like this for our students. And so this is going to be a great tool. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you, Dr. Schweitzer. It was a pleasure to have you today and to speak with you. Right. So I do want to do one final plug. So this Friday, I will be interviewing with Hypothesis. Hypothesis is a social annotation tool that I love to use. Let me go ahead and fix my camera. That I love to use in training as well as in courses that we design here at C.A.L. So I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat box. But I would love for you to join if you can. So I'll go ahead and put the link right there. It's this Friday, August 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So this time from 12 to 12:45. So it is an outside webinar. And what this webinar will focus on is really using Hypothesis, which is a tool that we have in Blackboard in a HyFlex context. We'll also be talking about hybrid if you want to use this remotely, but they will be interviewing me about my HyFlex experience. So I would love for you to join. This will also be available to view afterwards as well. So that's this Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. And I put the link in the chat box. So before we go, if you are on your computer, look at the three dots in the lower right corner of your chat box. Click on that, it'll say save chat to my computer. If you have registered with us beforehand, I will send a follow-up email with this information and the recording as well. So I appreciate everyone here. It's my birthday, by the way. So this was a great way to spend it. I'm so glad that you are all here today. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy birthday, David.
Thank you. And please connect with me afterwards. I would love to work with you, hear from your experiences in your own classroom, and really spread that to faculty and leverage that. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope you had a great time. Please stay safe, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.